All right. Good evening. Okay, picture yourself as the CEO slash founder of an up-and-coming startup, an up-and-coming fintech startup. Things are going great. Your company is getting the recognition that it deserves. The funding rounds are going like crazy. You have a tech team that works their asses off day in and day night to make sure that the slightest bit of burden is taken off the operations team. The operations team, that is the heart of any fintech team. Without an operations team, a fintech team is basically a hackathon group. Now, as CEO, we would tell you that everybody's working so hard that the operations team is having as much bandwidth as possible to move the company ahead. And you see your operations team, perhaps the best in the country, spending 70 to 80% of the day fetching insurance codes, making name correction policies, getting codes, going to Royal Sundaram, fetching company details or policy details for a particular person with a so-and-so DOB, with a so-and-so registration number, and basically spending more than half of the day doing this. Now, this definitely ends up getting boring after like a day. What me and Bryson, as your CTOs, would suggest to you is that we live in the era of LLMs, and that agentic browsing has gotten so much better at its job that we can entirely automate this particular job. Let's use the operations team domain expertise for something else. So the solution that we, as a team, bring forth before you is the FinOps Copilot. It is a solution built into two categories. The first of which is the FinOps browser agent, and it does exactly what you think it does. You train it like a tech intern. You write a prompt, a nice rule book, a recipe if you must, telling it to enter these credentials in this website, go on the green button labeled motor, click on it, fetch these details, put those details in here, click on the red button, and finally get your code, document, or something at the end, which you must now fetch and bring to the operations person. That is something that we are taking care of automating in this particular workflow. We have a very small demo of the same. This is definitely an MVP. We can increase concurrency to have like, I don't know, 20 to 25 web browser agents working in synergy, so to speak. This is now a lot faster than any ops person, however fast they are with their fingers, could get. The second solution that we have for you is a chat with document feature. It's well trodden over. It's been implemented several times, but it makes sense over here because the ops person, first of all, the ops person needs to stay grounded with all the details that are present in the policy. He may not always have another person who is well versed with the policy to kind of fact check with, kind of cross check the things that they know about the policy is true or not. They might need an LLM for that. They could use an LLM for that. And they can, in this case at least, ground the answers by reading that particular part of the policy. Now, the way that we take it a step forward is that we give the operations person, I think that would be it. Yeah. Towards questions.
So just for clarity, you've given the example of insurance specifically, or insurance selection. Are you solving FinOps across the company or different use cases, or is it specific to insurance?
It is mostly meant for the operations team. Now, I mean, what we have kind of in mind is to eventually build like an IDE for an operations person, an AI-powered IDE, so to speak. The first of which would be the browser agent. You could just tell it, prompt it to do so-and-so things in so-and-so order. This is something that a non-developer can also do. Have those prompts stored somewhere, get them tested, and see them in action. So whatever the operations team is doing, the mundane tasks on a day-to-day basis, those ought to be automated by our agent over here.
So I completely agree with you as someone who runs a company, and I'll tell you also a lot of these tools like Tally, etc., have introduced no automation or AI whatsoever, which is kind of crazy. But one of the questions I will have as a founder is, how will you protect my data security? Because one of the things that's stopping, for example, even our finance team from using AI tools more actively, even for example, we have to write like monthly MIS to investors, like a quick financial analysis, summary, etc. I know they would love to use these tools, but we cannot upload company data into these public tools.
Exactly.
So how would you think about enterprise level data security here?
This ends up being a question not about the agent per se, but what runs it behind the hood. The LLM. The infrastructure we have researched over the past few weeks is available on the internet right now. What it needs is a fine-tuned LLM that is made for these purposes and drive the agent to its purpose. So if we have the agent working locally, trained on a curated data set, fine-tuned on an even more curated data set that is devoid of any sensitive data and info, if that is something that can take care of on your end, then the infrastructure exists to make this a reality. So what I'm trying to get at is that this is essentially an LLM training / fine-tuning problem at the end of the day. The infrastructure exists and you can see a demo of it too.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think this is very good. I think one of the biggest problem statements that you have targeted. And if it works really well, this could be a very big business. Would love to know what is your monetization model when you launch something like this, because I know there are endless problems to be solved and you can create custom solutions for every company.
Right.
And so number one, how would you scale it? Like, will it be a SaaS model or will you build custom agents for every company? So would love to know what is the monetization model.
I think we'll have Bryson take that up.
Yeah, monetization, it will be on a subscription basis where we'll be selling subscription to our platform to companies who are dealing with insurance ops and yeah.
So we have a bunch of frameworks known as ADK, Google's ADK module, and Browser Use, that is the main framework that is being used inside of this project. They are both very scalable projects built on top of LangChain and